Welcome to the Leadership and Learning Podcast with Dr. JBT, where we dive deep into the art of leadership for emerging and advancing leaders. Whether you're just starting out or looking to sharpen your skills, this podcast is your go-to resource. We'll explore real-world scenarios, actionable solutions, and expert advice with insights drawn from Dr. JBT's own experiences and interviews with seasoned leaders. If you're serious about growing as a leader, you've come to the right place. This is Dr. JBT with Leadership and Learning. Today we're going to talk about motivation. That said, motivation is a complex concept, and it will take a few episodes to discuss the different layers and aspects of motivation. Let's start with the foundation. All people are motivated. Let me say that again. All people are motivated. I often hear leaders say, this person isn't motivated, or they don't focus on their priorities. They must be unmotivated. I want to counter this perspective from the start. All people are motivated. It is a matter of what people are motivated toward. Think of it as the direction of their motivation, their focus. I'm going to share an example about my son. In high school, he struggled with his classes and assignments. And it wasn't because he struggled with the actual assignments. He just didn't turn them in. Many nights, Paul, that's my husband, he and I discussed the lack of motivation. We dove into book after book about motivation to try and get him motivated. After lots of reading and learning, we realized our son is really motivated. He's just motivated by video games and not school. You see, he never forgot one update release for a video game that he loved because he was motivated to always have the updated releases. However, he couldn't remember when assignments were due because direction of his motivation was focused on video games and not school. Let's call this the direction of our motivation. People get to choose what they do when they have choices in front of them. And between video games and school, my son chose video games. So it's important to understand the direction of our team members' motivation. Let me provide a couple of examples. One example, maybe a team member is motivated on getting promoted and focuses most of their efforts on tasks that could get that promotion. Well, these tasks might not be what you need prioritized, or they're taking more time than you would want allocated. So in your mind, they seem unmotivated because they're not doing the work that you want them to be doing. Their direction and focus doesn't align with yours. If this were my scenario, I would ask them why they prioritize the items they're prioritizing. This starts to, according to Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, seek first to understand. So I want to understand why they're prioritizing what they're prioritizing. Let's say they respond and say, hey, they're seeking a career advancement and they have their eye on a job. Great. Now you know the direction and focus of their motivation. If they tell you, be excited about it, even if it's not what you want to hear. So I might say, okay, thank you for sharing that with me. What gaps do you feel you have from the job you have now and the experience you have now with the promoted job requirements? And how can we give you that experience now in this job to gain you the experience you need in those areas? So now I'm connecting their future ideal job with the one they have today and the needs of today and the needs I have for my department. I'm finding alignment between the motivation. I say this, I had a team member who wanted to remain in the organization, but wanted to shift fields. And we talked about the new role. I asked her those same questions I just shared. Why do you prioritize what you prioritize? What job is it that you want? And she identified a few gap areas. And I immediately thought of a project I needed help on that would give her the experience she needed to get the new job and would help me complete my work. Win-win. Oh my goodness, win-win. So I'm happy to say she completed this project for me and she got the new job. Now, we have to be okay as leaders not keeping our employees for years and years. These days, people move quicker than ever. So my end goal is how do I create a win-win? And if I can create a win-win, even if it is short term, then that employee remains motivated for the work in my department while they are with me. That's what's important. It may be short term, but they're motivated to do the work in my department while they are with me. Let's totally shift gears to another scenario. Now a team member is motivated by something going on in their personal life and getting that in order. And I want to pause for a moment and say, gone are the days where we leave our personal lives at the door. You don't have to like it as a leader, but the workforce no longer leaves it at the door. With technology and social media, we're too connected. So as a leader, you have to know that what happens outside of the office doors will impact your team members during office hours. I had a team member that had a lot going on with her kid at home. He was getting bullied at school. She had a meeting in the morning with the school, and then our one-on-one followed that meeting. I knew she was distracted. And she's like, I can push through. I can push through. And I asked her why. I encouraged her to take the rest of the day off and focus on her son and process what she was feeling as a mom. The days when sick time means cough, cough, and vacation time means let's go Disneyland, they're over. There are several reasons why people need time off. Work with your team members on what they need so that when they are on the clock, they're on the clock. Giving them the space creates trust, and it keeps them motivated to focus on work when at work. If I had pushed her to focus on her job, she probably would have only had half the productivity of a normal day because of her mental distractions. Why would that be a good option for me as the leader? Let me tell you, it isn't. We have to understand the direction of their motivation and how to align the two. This episode of Leadership and Learning is not an exhaustive list of where employees might shift the direction of their motivation. It is to show that they are motivated, and we as leaders need to understand how to create a solution that aligns their motivation with the priorities we have in the workplace. Please do not write off your supposedly unmotivated employees. All people are motivated. You as a leader can redirect and align and experience high-achieving team members. Leadership and Learning with Dr. JBT, signing off.